Live from Curious Comedy Theater in Portland, Oregon, where Movember, Mo Problems. It's Late Night Special! Tonight's guests, sociologist and author Randy Blazak, comedian Jordan Casner, musical guest Johanna Kunin, house band The Digital Species, and your hosts, Stacey, Hallal, and Flewelling.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here.
We did it. You're in for a treat.
You're the smart ones tonight. We're going to do a live late night talk show for you. To get started, we should probably talk about some of the news that's been happening this week.
People.
I don't know if you guys know that the CEO of McDonald's was fired after it was, after it was discovered he was having a relationship with an employee. Now, this violated the first rule of McDonald's, which is don't dip your McNuggets in company sauce.
Yeah. Such a number one.
Keep your McNuggets in your pants is all I'm saying.
Or at least pay for the extra sauce, for God's sake.
Well, moving on. Gert Boyle, the legendary chairwoman of Columbia Sportswear, died last week at the age of 95. Sad. But this is the second time death has come for her, but the first time death was wearing a North Face and Gert slaps the shit out of him.
Yeah. A pregnant woman in Florida used an AR-15 to fend off 2 intruders that came into her house. That sound you just heard is every Republican simultaneously orgasming. Favorite news.
If it's Mitch McConnell, his O-face doesn't change.
Well, according to a new study, over 4 million high schoolers in the U.S. vaped in 2019. Now, considering how uncool vaping actually is, child experts are questioning if anti-bullying movement is actually gone too far.
Yeah, there's a point to a certain amount of bullying. Anyway. Facebook announced this week that they're changing the visual identity of the company to Facebook in all caps, while keeping the app's name just Facebook with the capital F and the small Acebook, which is both like silently selling people's data and opening a window and yelling, "I'm selling your data!"
It's the same. Well, scientists sent 12 bottles of Bordeaux red wine into space to see how extreme conditions affect aging, and also increase the chances of exploring Uranus.
I let that in there.
A lot of moons out there.
A senior at Tufts University in Massachusetts says that she found a secret message encoded in the classic John Milton's Paradise Lost. When deciphered, the message actually reads, "Your English degree is a waste of money." Especially at a private university.
Yeah, it's not worth anything. So now, in local baby news, Portland has the lowest premature birth rate in the nation.
We're number 1.
Now, we also have the highest rate of post-mature babies living off of their parents until well into their 30s.
Yeah, we're number one.
We're number one.
Rapper T.I. boasted this week that he takes his daughter to the doctor to get her hymen checked every year.
True story.
To see if she's still a virgin. Yeah, which is a lot like his song, Whatever You Like, Except Body Autonomy. I don't know if you know that one.
Down with T.I., yeah. Okay, well, a man in China who complained about an ear pain found a family of cockroaches living in his ear canal. Woo! No. But, okay, well, on the bright side, his ear canal can now survive the nuclear war.
Yay! It's late night special! Well, here we are. You know, my heart's a little broken because I've been watching Rhythm and Flow. Does anybody watch that show? And so, you know, T.I. didn't seem like as much of a creep on that show
I don't know
as
about
he
the
is
show.
now. So it's called Rhythm and Flow, and it's got Cardi B,
Okay.
T.I., and Chance the Rapper are the judges. I am as excited as you are.
Okay, so is this like The Voice, but for rap?
It is.
Okay.
But it's like, the thing about The Voice is it's like just karaoke, basically. You know, like the best produced karaoke in the world. But this, they have to write songs, they get to record them, they make a video, they have to perform live, they have to battle rap, but it's all rap and hip hop.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like I would like that.
It's a very cool show, and now I'm sad because of T.I.
Yeah, that's so weird. That's
It's
really
very
weird.
creepy.
It's so creepy. I
Yeah.
hate it. I don't like that. Let's move on. Somebody just said, thank you.
Yeah. What's new with you?
I just went to Colorado. I went to the Denver Improv Festival.
Yay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna move there like everyone else in Portland?
No, but if somebody put a gun to my head and was like, you have to move, I would move to Denver for sure. I would never leave Portland.
Is it just Denver or pretty much anywhere if they put a gun to your head?
Well, if they're like, you have to pick somewhere, like I would
What
move
about
to
Oklahoma? If someone put a gun to your head and said you have to move to Oklahoma,
I'd be like,
go?
shoot me now. No, I went to Colorado, did the Denver Improv Festival, and then got a teaching gig up in Steamboat Springs. Anybody been to Steamboat Springs?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's one person.
One person. It's lovely, and then we hit up a bunch of hot springs on the way. And so there's this amazing hot springs. It was like kind of up 30 minutes out of the town. And we get there, we're ready to go. We pull up to the thing, and they're like, okay, great. And I give them my card, and she's like, oh, cash or check only. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, just give me you don't have a check? And I was like, no, I don't have a check. And she's like, everybody has a check. And I was like, it's not
Nobody
95.
has a check.
Yeah.
Nobody has a
She's
check.
like, don't you have a checkbook in your car? And I was just like, no, I don't.
And why would you ever keep your checkbook in the car? It gets stolen.
I know. No,
You know what
yeah.
I used to do in 1995? I lived in Eugene, and there was like this little grocery store up the street, and I could walk there, and I would write a check on a deposit slip. Because I would always be out of checks. You can turn a deposit slip into a check.
What?
Yeah, because it has your number on it, and then you just write. I mean, anything can be a check. You can just take a piece of paper and be like, I pay you this amount of money, and they would take it. Because it's Eugene.
Yeah.
They're like, this is money. Money's not real anyway, man.
Yeah. Sometimes somebody will say something weird or like wackadoo like that, and I'll be like, are you from Eugene? And they'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, okay.
Great. Well, we have an exciting show tonight.
Yeah, we do.
We've got some great that's coming up. We've got some great stand-up. But before we dig into it, there was something we needed to look into a little bit, and this is a total surprise to someone. But Bill McKinley over here has, not only is he our announcer on, how many shows have we done?
This is our 34th show.
Jesus.
So Bill's been at 33.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's been at most, we've each had a turn.
I've done 12.
Yeah. It's not true. He's done well. But Bill also has been here at Curious Comedy for how many years now, Bill?
8? That sounds about right. Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah.
He's also our head writer.
Yep.
He does sketch, he does musical improv, he does...
He's not bad on the eyes. What else?
And he's just been a pillar of this community and all around extremely talented human and a wonderful man to work with in person to everyone here.
Aww.
So we wanted to do just a little birthday surprise.
Oh, come on.
It's his birthday!
Here you. Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. Thank you. Oh my God. Wow.
Tribute to...
Wow.
And look, this bottle of wine is called Curious Beasts.
Wow.
And that is a pie from Random Order. It's a caramel apple pie.
You're all so beautiful.
Bill McKinley, happy birthday.
Yeah, just set it on the thing.
Yeah, you can take it for later. You
Yeah.
can have it. Here, Bill, if I drop this, it's going to fall.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go. Okay. Bill McKinley, everybody!
Yeah, I love Bill McKinley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And seriously, Bill, thank you for all you've done. I'm so far away from the desk. Yay! Awesome. I'm ready for some music.
Yes, I am.
Our first guest is a musician who has been playing around Portland for the past 10 years. This is her album that will be for sale back here. It's under the name Bright Archer, which is also where you can find her on Bandcamp. This record's called Hidden Systems. We heard her playing earlier. Very excited. Please welcome Johanna Kunin.
Show
serene.
It is. Now I feel nice and relaxed, which this time of year is it's hard to feel. And as you know, that this show, costs money to run a show like this.
It's not free.
It's not free. It's not. So we have a lot of sponsors, and so right now we need to take a moment for a word from our sponsor, Bedbox.
Yourself canceling plans because by the time you made them, it's already dark outside? Have you stopped following the news and started following Kendall Jenner on Instagram? Yes. Do you check your horoscope daily? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I am sorry to say that you are hella depressed. And when you're depressed, it can be hard to get the things that you need. And so that's why we've invented Bedbox. It's like HelloFresh or Blue Apron before depression. Each month, Bedbox will deliver to your door everything you need for a good depressive episode, including a succulent. You can pretend it's a metaphor for your life while you slowly watch it die. So many blankets that your roommates stop being polite and start getting concerned. Enough Thai food to drown a horse. A bottle of Old Crow, which is like a whiskey if a whiskey could hate you. A new show about serial killers you can binge, where John Hamm plays the killer and the victims. It's called Hamicide. A salt lamp you can't lick, a regular lamp you can lick way too much, and a bottle of dry shampoo, because it's only November and you already smell like cheese. Use offer code Late Night Special, and each month we'll send you the Facebook of a friend from elementary school who's now way, way hotter than you. At no extra charge. Bedbox, when you can't get your box out of bed. And coming soon, Bed Dick. Which is a completely different service. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bedbox is keeping the lights on here.
It is. I get a free bed box, just because of our working relationship, and it's been great.
Good.
But I can't wait for the bed dick to come out. I don't know if you just heard my boyfriend's in the audience, and he just went, "What?" All right. Let's bring out our interview guest.
Yes, a repeat interview guest.
Yes. So this guest was one of our very first show guests, and we had a lot to talk about. So much so that we're excited to have him back. He is a sociologist as well as chair of the Oregon Coalition Against Hate Crimes. He's been on CNN a bunch of times, and he's an author. Please welcome Randy Blazak.
Randy Blazak!
Come on out.
Hello. Welcome back.
Happy Saturday night. Hey.
Happy Saturday night.
I dressed more casually this time.
That's okay.
Because I thought, after you do it the first time, you really don't have to try.
Right.
Like
That's not
in
true.
life.
No. That's okay. So Jay used to wear suits, so now.
I know, I just let it all go.
Yeah. The problem is when you do a show every week, you need a lot of suits and a lot of dresses. So we could use a sponsor.
Men's Warehouse.
Closet box.
We're listening.
Jay Flewelling's outfits by Botany 500.
Yes.
Yeah.
But everyone was so excited when you
Yay.
came here last
Thanks a lot.
time. It was such a fascinating conversation. So just a quick review. Last time you were here, we talked about you going undercover for years with skinheads.
Right.
What were those years that you
Well,
did that in?
in the late 80s and early 90s, so long ago. But it's been very interesting that, so I went under, it was just when the skinhead thing was kind of new, including here in Portland, and I was kind of trying to understand the whole phenomenon, why it happened. So as a young white male, as I was at the time, obviously now I'm an older Asian female, but at the time I was a young white male and had could walk right into that world, and it was fascinating, and it was kind of this sort of weird little subculture. But now it's been incredibly useful in understanding what the hell is happening in mainstream America. It's one of the reasons I've been, kind of in the mainstream media a lot and doing a lot of CNN and BBC and Turkish television. I mean, everybody wants to know what the hell is happening. Can I say hell on this?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay, what the hell is happening in America? And so it's that initial research that I did way back 30 years ago has become sadly relevant to what's happening now.
Yeah, for a long time we kept thinking, it goes in cycles and things keep getting better, and they're getting better over time, right? And they're cycling up, but that has not been how people have been feeling lately.
Yeah, 2 steps forward, 1 giant step back.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that there is a new law.
Yeah, we have a new bias crime. Oregon's ahead of the curve on a lot of things. We had, microbrew before anybody knew what it was, and, hipsters and all that. And we had one of the first hate crime laws in the country in the 1980s. It was just called intimidation. And it was sort of set up for the way people were thinking in the 80s in terms of gangs of skinheads. And so we have a new law, a new state law, called SB 577. The governor just signed it last month. And it really improves the law, calls it bias crimes, but also includes protections for gender identity, crimes motivated by people based on their gender identity, which was you think it would be an easy thing, but there was we've been trying for 10 years to get gender identity included. And you have these very intelligent lawyers at the Department of Justice who are generally fairly progressive, who didn't understand that there was a difference between sexual orientation and gender identity. You'd think that these people would know. So we finally got sort of those protections because transgender folks have been a target of a lot of hate of late. And there's going to be a hotline. So if you have anywhere in the state, including in Medford and Eastern Oregon, because we're sort of in Portland/Eugene, it's kind of its own little universe. But there's this whole other part of Oregon a lot of people don't know about. It's like over there.
People live in those areas?
Yeah, believe it or not. It's like 6 or 7, but it's a hell. It's a hell for those people. So we want to make sure that all across the state people have resources.
So what's the hotline? What happens?
Well, when you call, you'll get a call back from an actual human being. It won't be like press 7 if you've got a Nazi knocking on your door. It'll be an actual person who talks to you, and even if it's not something that's technically a crime, we just had an incident at OSHU yesterday where somebody hung a noose in somebody's workplace, and so even things that don't rise to, I know. Here we are, Portland, Oregon, Portlandia. Even though some of those things don't rise to the level of things that are crimes that you can arrest people for, we'll have community partners that will help those people get through that, because all this is traumatizing. There's a lot of people that are kind of in a little bit of an anxious state right now because of all the things that are happening. So we're going to make sure that there's community resources for those people, and we don't just say we can't help you. So that's really exciting. That's all going to be unfolding over the next year.
What was the tipping point of the law? Like, how did this just happen?
Well, it was a lot of things. I mean, I think part of it was what happened on the MAX train in 2017. We had a couple of people stabbed to death on the MAX train by a guy who was sort of involved in the alt-right. Before that, there was a murder of an African-American teenager who was murdered by a member of a white supremacist prison gang in Gresham, Oregon. And there's just sort of been the building climate that's been happening. I think a lot of people know that hate crimes have gone up over the last few years, and it's just sort of been a lot of bad news. And so it really put the feet under the fire of the state legislature in Salem to. And
so is the coalition fighting for this?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of coalitions, a lot of community groups, a lot of groups from the Muslim community and from the Jewish community all across the state really sort of unified to get this law passed. And it almost didn't make it, and at the last minute they pushed it through. And so we're really excited there's going to be some real resources for folks that are experiencing all this badness that's happening.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, congratulations
we're very
for your
happy about
part
that.
of that. And in another life, or another part of your life,
hat that I wear.
You are also an author.
Well, yeah, I mean, in academia, you get to publish or perish, so I get to, write a lot of things about skinheads and hate groups and hate crimes and stuff like that. But I also have been writing fiction. Yeah, look at there's.
So we got a couple
couple
novels, and they're
notion
called.
of the rock novel. These are 2 Portland-based novels.
So if you see on here, it says not just a novel, a rock novel.
Well, because like the rock opera. I was
Right.
like, why hasn't anybody done for the novel what they've done for the opera? Obviously, the opera now has been saved by the rock opera. So I wanted to save the novel.
Bold statement.
And the whole idea of this idea. So I'm old school, and I'm from the days when you listen to albums. And you would put the song side one, drop the needle down and listen to it, and he wouldn't do anything else but listen, like it was his own little thing. It wasn't like on Spotify in the background. You would listen to a full album. And when I was a kid, I thought a lot of those albums were concept albums, would tell these stories, because you're just in your room listening to the album and all the songs sort of fit together. And then later, I realized I was just a stupid kid, and these were just records. And so but I started thinking, what if you could write these stories that seem to be evoked by these great classic rock albums? And so I had this Electro Light Orchestra record when I was a kid that I was convinced was a concept album, and then it had like aliens and opera singers and all. So I thought, I should write what I thought the story was. But at the time when I decided to write it, I was also going through some stuff. It's not, how people people go through stuff. Yeah, sometimes people go through stuff.
I don't ever go through stuff, but I've heard of it.
Stuff, yeah, and I had a nice therapist who put me on a nice little drug called Zoloft, which is like lattes but more, like Starbucks plus. Yeah. And so I was just doing a lot of things, but it stopped me from jumping off a cliff, which is I think the intention. But I thought, why don't I write that theme about why is it so hard? This is all uplifting. First I'm going to talk about hate. Now I'm going to talk about suicide.
Yeah. So this is the mission of Sacred Heart that you're talking about.
Yeah. So and the question is, why is it so hard to kill yourself? That's
right.
Like, hey, why not? Why not write a book about that? And the answer is, I'm not going to give it away, but the answer is music and listening to your love. So it did really well when I wrote it, and it got optioned for a screenplay down in Hollywood and other things. It's in New York, being developed into a musical, which is the strangest thing in the world. But it's a Portland-based story. It's like I really wanted to capture what it is about Portland. It starts at the Starbucks at Pioneer Square. That's where it all kind of starts. It plays a lot of names are changed in it to protect the innocent. So the Crystal Ballroom is in it, but it's
what did you change the name of that place?
The Palais.
Oh.
Yeah. And everyday music, but it's all day music. Yeah. And Zia McCabe from the Dandy Warhols is in it, but she's Mia McZane.
Well, so now you've just unprotected the innocent.
The lawsuits will now start coming.
We are live streaming, so there's that.
It did pretty well.
Well, wouldn't it be weird if they took a rock novel and adapted it into a play that wasn't a musical?
Oh my God, it just blew my mind. Or it became an album, and that play became an album.
You know what? That's gonna be my mission.
Oh my God.
I can't even play any instruments well, but I'm gonna turn this book into the greatest album of all time. It's the chain of creativity from ELO to the Mission of the Sacred Heart to Stacey Hallal's premiere album called The Mission of the Sacred Heart. So what about this one? This was inspired by.
That's kind of the sequel.
Oh, okay, so you should read them in. You should read them in order.
This is the new one. If you like that sort of thing, it's like I figured it worked for the Harry Potter lady. Maybe it would work for me.
Yeah. And this is inspired by Cheap Trick?
Yeah, Cheap Trick is another great album which I listened to obsessively as a kid, and I thought they all told. So each of them has a musical number in it. I thought that I grew up watching like Elvis movies and West Side Story, and I always want there to just be a spontaneous musical number. So the first one has a musical number that takes place in Ringler's Annex that bursts into like a number from Greece. But the Dream Police has a dancing skinhead number in it, or it's like racist skinheads that are dancing in it. So if these ever make it onto the big screen. That's all I want. It's just the musical numbers that come out. So
right.
Yeah. So that one's
so
about.
If these come out, they're gonna be weird.
Yeah.
That's what you but it's gonna be awesome. I would like to see the scene with skinheads.
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought if Michael Jackson could do it with zombies, I could do it with skinheads. That was my motivation.
Well,
amazing.
I have a question. So, I mean, not to take it back a little bit. I mean, like when it's like an event like Charleston or something like this, or like, is there? Well, number one, are skinheads and hate groups like growing?
Well, it's changed. It's really changed. I mean, we've seen an increase in hate crimes. We've seen an increase in hate activity, but now it's like on the internet. It's sort of when I started doing my research, I would go to Klan rallies. I would like physically go there. I would go hang out at a skinhead house. Now a lot of it is just sort of existing on 8chan and a lot of websites, and so they aren't quite as organized as the old hate groups. It's more decentralized. It's more like sort of the way you would think of a terrorist organization, where everybody kind of knows each other's mission, but they don't have to hang out together and be a card-carrying member of a group. So it's changed a lot.
So then, I mean, with Charleston and things like that, I mean, like, how do we combat it? Like, how do we be part of it?
That's a good question. Well, there's a lot of ways that we can combat it. I mean, one of the ways is just making people more resistant to being recruited in it. There's a lot of white people that are kind of fragile at the moment. Maybe you've heard about the sort of fragile white people that are freaking out over all the changes that are happening in America, and straight people and able-bodied people and male people. I mean, the groups like the Proud Boys are not only sort of racially motivated. One of the mottos is, we revere the housewife, because they want to go back to the days of June Cleaver, make America that again. And so the more we can do to kind of incorporate the value of diversity and make young people resistant. I mean, they're really going after young people hardcore. They're going after video game platforms.
Is Fortnite just a recruitment tool?
Well, it can be. I mean, anything that's sort of an online platform, right? Anything, and if you get like a white kid who, just think of a 13-year-old white kid who doesn't understand why there's Black History Month, who doesn't understand why there's gay pride. Where's straight pride? And I have to say, like, every day is straight pride day. But, they feel dislocated. They feel kind of like the world is leaving them behind. And so these folks are reaching out to them and bringing them in. And so we have to give them the skills to be able to resist that. So that's a big part of it. Yeah. So a lot of work with young people. A lot of this is working with young people. I mean, the good news is that the Generation Z, or whatever we're going to call these groups of post-millennials, are pretty much badass already. They have such diverse friends. They know all the BS that's out there. But there's a couple of those kids that fall through the cracks that feel like they're not in the club. They're on the out, and for us back in the day, punk rock was there to kind of help us feel like, we're misfits, but we're still cool. They're being sort of targeted by these folks that are saying, oh yeah, let me tell you how your world is being taken away from you.
Right.
So there's a lot of work to do there with young people. So that's why I always think teachers are kind of really on the front line of this. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Just sort of left you.
No. We hit this point last time because we talked a little bit about, like, there's that choice of, like, do I punch a Nazi in the face, or do I hand them a flower? And it's really hard when you're angry.
Right.
And when somebody pushes you so far, there is a point, right, where, like, even my dog is, like, misbehaving, and there's a point at which I have to yell at him, right? Like, I can't always be like, I love you, to my dog when he's misbehaving. It's not necessarily going to stop.
Yes, but
not
these
to
are people.
Yes, I know. But I'm just saying, there's a point at which you get angry, and there's a point of anger, right? How do you set a boundary, I guess, is the thing that, because just saying a flower is, in a way, and this is a change for me as somebody who's always been like love first and forgiveness first, but there is a point where your self-respect is getting so trodden upon that you do need to set a boundary and hold your ground. And
you have to send a clear message too that their way of approaching the world, including making people feel traumatized. I mean, just something simple as saying build a wall, build a wall, build a wall to a 13-year-old Latina girl is hugely traumatizing.
Right.
You don't want to leave the house if there's going to be kids in your school saying that. So we really have to stand up firm to those people, but there's a way of sort of luring them to your party so that you don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all of that.
Yeah.
It's Veterans Day on Monday. So we want to play a game with you because you're always fun.
Okay. Because I served in the Love Army.
That's right. That's right. And speaking of animals, this is going to be trivia about animals who have served in the military.
They are veterans too.
They are veterans too. Many of them decorated. And I think we need somebody, Jay, we get somebody from the audience who can participate in this.
May win a prize.
Yeah, we've got prizes.
Who wants to, why are you pointing at that poor woman?
She's hilarious.
You guys all pointed to her and she just immediately went for the popcorn kernels.
Who else would like to come up here?
You can win a record, you can win one of these books. So come on up, come on up.
Wait, hold on. You want to come up here? Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Come on up here. Yeah. All right, take a seat on the couch. What's your name, good sir?
My name is Rory.
Hey, give it up for Rory!
Yay!
Lovely.
All right, so this is going to be extremely competitive.
So we're competing against each other or against you?
You are competing against each other.
And I'm playing
know
as
the
well. I
answers.
don't know the answers.
Yeah, Jay does not know the answers.
Yeah, I'm
so
playing
you're,
as well,
the
yeah.
three of you are in it. Bill knows the answers, not because he saw them, but because Bill knows everything.
And it's his
particularly about history. Okay, first question. Believed to be the most decorated war dog of World War I, which canine served on the front line with the U.S. 102nd Infantry Regiment? Was it Captain Corelli, Major Tom, Colonel Blimp, or Sergeant Stubby?
Colonel Blimp.
Colonel Blimp is your guess? All right.
He
What do you
looks like
think?
he knows. Colonel Blimp.
Colonel Blimp?
The last one was the last one. Stubby.
Yes.
Stubby.
You are correct, Jay. It is Sergeant.
Look at that. Is that the real
Yeah,
dog?
'cause it's on his
Stubby
jacket.
On his jacket. I think.
Oh, yeah. That's the real dog. What war? What war
Just
is that?
just to get dark again for 1 second, because I was reading this, I have a lot more information. It's rumored that when he was found out by the commanding officer as he was being hidden, he held out his paw in salute, and then he became a fully fledged member of the army, and he captured a spy, and it has all this stuff. And then it ends with, he died in his sleep in 1926. His skin was preserved and mounted on display at the Smithsonian Museum for all to see and respect. Ew. That's so gross. Okay, sorry,
He's
Stubby.
next to Archie Bunker's chair. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. All right, number 2. Little helpers. Zoologist and naturalist Dr. Paul Barch worked alongside the U.S. Bureau of Mines during World War I. Which creature did he recommend could save thousands of lives inside the frontline trenches? Remember, this is the Bureau of Mines. Was it wasps, slugs, ants, or butterflies?
Something's pointing me to wasps. I don't know why.
All right.
I think ants.
Ant.
I'm going to go with, even though it's a different war, butterflies. We were just sort of saying, oh, butterflies. And they would move away from the mines because they would follow the butterflies.
Oh, so you are a lover and not a fighter, Randy. And you're all wrong.
Slugs.
It is slugs.
Yeah.
Slugs. Slugs can actually detect the gases and cue people to put on their gas masks.
Oh.
But not salt, surprisingly.
That's right. You came here to learn tonight.
Yeah.
Winged heroes. Around 250,000 pigeons were used as carriers of secret communications during World War II. What's so special about Gustav, otherwise known as NPS.42.31066? Was a skeleton found in a chimney in 2012 with an undeciphered message? What? Did he save the lives of 1,000 Allied soldiers from being bombed? Did he belong to King George VI, or did he deliver the first message from Normandy beaches in 1944?
Wow.
Yeah, I got to go with Normandy. Yeah.
I think he saved like the troops, and it's probably because he like got a message through or something.
What do you guys think?
What do you think?
Normandy.
You are right. It was Normandy.
Wow.
Now we're even because Jay, you got that one wrong.
Yeah.
friend.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. The British Royal Navy ship HMS Amethyst was trapped on the Yangtze River for 3 months in 1949 during the Chinese Civil War. Who was the cat responsible for catching vermin during the ship's incarceration? Was it Trim, Unsinkable Sam, Able Sea Cat Simon, or Blackie?
Why would anybody know this?
Sometimes you just gotta make a guess.
I think it was Unsinkable Sam.
I'm gonna go Blackie because he's got a black coat.
And I'm going to say Trim because it's completely inappropriate.
It was the only one you didn't say. Able Sea Cat Simon.
Little sigh.
All right.
Wait, Abel Seacat's ass. Abel Seacat's ass. Yeah. If
All right,
sea cats wouldn't work.
one more question, one more. Well, we'll do two more, because I like this. All right, we train rats to save lives is the motto of which humanitarian organization formed in 1997 to detect landmines in war-torn countries? There's a rat actually sniffing out landmines. Is it called Halo Trust, Apopo, MAG, or No More Landmines?
No more landmines.
Was it No More Landmines, Princess Diana's charity?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
There could be a rat connection.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. No More Landmines.
I think Mag.
It was a popo. I don't know why. There's no explanation. It's actually anti-personnel landmines detection product development.
Oh, yeah, of course. That makes
Do you
sense.
remember?
Yeah.
That was right in your own book, Randy. Okay, last question. Which country devised the bat bomb, an experimental bomb which housed thousands of hibernating bats during World War II? There it is, the bat bomb.
Which country?
Was it
Probably-
Japan, Germany, USA, United Kingdom?
Germany, because they're awful? I don't know.
I think Germany because they're close to Transylvania.
Oh, interesting approach. Interesting approach.
Yeah, I would think China, just because I don't think they would know.
That
what
was
to do
not a choice.
He's going for letter E.
I would think it's China.
The answer is the United States of
America.
America.
Sure.
Come on, we're the ones who took the dog's skin and put it on display. Thank you both. You win. You're going to get a free prize. Well, I guess I'm going to give you both books.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Because
you
they
got
need to
two
go
books.
together. You got
There you
two
go.
books.
Happy
Thank you
birthday.
so much. And let's sing Randy Blazak, everybody. Randy Blazak, keep your eye on him.
Give it up! Give it up!
All right.
Every time he's here, it's an amazing thing.
It is. I just want to get coffee and talk to him for 8 hours straight. All right, I'm ready for some stand-up comedy. Are you ready for some stand-up comedy?
Yeah!
Please welcome to the stage my friend and maybe yours, Jordan Casner.
Thank you so much. What a big picture. All right. Very necessary. I missed that dog. All right, hey, thanks. Some dark, serious stuff here tonight. Dark, serious stuff going on. When I was 15, it reminded me when I was 15, actually, I wrote a suicide note and then took 6 a leave. And I woke up feeling great. I felt like it turned that. It's weird when you're like 30, you're like, that's just vitamins. Those are just other. You feel, just take them all the time. It's fine. I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to be in Portland. Portland is my home. I'm from here originally. I had to move away for a little bit, and I found out actually in a lot of other parts of the country, there's a lot of eye contact, really freaked me out. So moved right back. It's been nice to be back here. Actually moved back here just in time for the old naked bike ride happen. It was a kind of a jarring experience to come right home to that, right? Just because I have kind of an odd relationship with the World Naked Bike Ride that we have here in Portland, mostly because a couple years ago I did it, and candidly speaking, I was concerned what my penis would look like. It's normal stuff, right? Normal stuff. So I just went ahead and I took like half Viagra, and turns out riding a bicycle with a full erection is way worse than not. For a second, I was like, oh, someone might be impressed. No, they were mad. They were real mad. I think the thing that confused me the most, it really kind of shook me to my core, is that half of Viagra, still a full boner. What's the math with that, you know? This is the Northwest. We've all cut something in half, been a little half high, you know, taking a little of something, been like, cool, I'll still go to work or church or whatever. I don't know. No, those things work. Those things work. I was glad I actually didn't feel like doing that ever again. I don't know about y'all, I didn't really get my summer body in time to be naked Still more of a winter body. Shame on me. You're right. But this was the first year that I really tried hard to get in some good shape. I went to an actual gym, talked to a real personal trainer. His name was probably Derek, I don't know. But he was nice. And what he said was, a lot of people don't realize this, but just as important, if not more important than exercise, are supplements. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I think I can do supplements, you know. So here's just like a quick list of the supplements I've been taking to get in some all right shape. Adderall. And I really think that it's working, you know, because my feet stop sweating and I can't stop breathing. So I think I'm ripped. I think I'm yoked. I don't know, it's nice. It's surprisingly expensive to get in really good shape. I think it's about $1,000 an ab. I was doing the math. And I don't know, it's been nice for me this last couple of years. Things have been going well. I've been working a lot, being out a lot. It's really good. I didn't realize this, but I think financially my low point was probably about 4 years ago. A friend called me up and he was like, "Hey, you want to do something tonight? You seem sad." And I was like, no, I can't do, I'm broke. I can't do anything. No. Like, unless you want to come over and drink water, no, I can't do much, right? But my friend was very nice. He was like, you know what you need to do? You need to make a vision board. And I was like, of course. Of course, it'd be crazy not to try anything, right? So we got together. We both made vision boards. I cut out pictures of things that I wanted, and I glued them to a bigger piece of paper. That way the universe knew, or whatever. I don't know what the science is. I haven't looked it up. I don't know. But then we got back together, and I saw my friend's vision board, and it was covered in, like, Ferraris and guitars and mansions. And mine was, like, soap and fruit. My friend was like, I'm not sure, but I think your vision board's a grocery list. Some things you should probably sort out. And I said, I'm sorry, I'd love to get blown by a Ferrari or whatever yours means, but right now I'm just actually dirty and hungry. Let's start with some small goals. I recently, up until like 3 days ago, I had a giant gross mustache that I had to shave off because I realized I could no longer do the things my mustache implied I could do. You know what I mean? It was like a big, hard stash and real soft, lotiony hands. I don't know. It was a bummer, though. I will say I do enjoy having a mustache because I feel like having a mustache in 2019 is such a dumb, loud choice to make that I noticed a lot of odd support amongst other mustached people, usually men. And I know this is true because actually I had a giant beard and I shaved it to a mustache. I didn't grow a mustache. I'm not a creep. I didn't grow a mustache. I'm not a bad person. I had a beard and I shaved it. I'm not like a villain. I'm not a sick son of a bitch. All right, I had a beard and I've shaved it. And the day I shaved that beard into a mustache, I walked into a coffee shop, and about 30 feet away, I see another young man, also with a mustache. And when he saw me, he locked eyes. And this is exactly what he did. He just went like this. He just went. And that was it. That was our whole interaction. It was like he gave me the signal, and I don't know what it was for. And I think I'm an assassin, I guess. I think I'm supposed to kill the president. That's me. This whole time, it's me. Man. I just miss the days when threatening to kill a president didn't just kind of feel like pandering. A weird bummer, you know? Tell that joke like 6 years ago, and I'm racist or a patriot, depending on where we're at. But now I tell that, and everyone's like, yeah. Me too. Yeah. All right, thanks so much, y'all. Have a good night. Thank you.
I remember my ex-boyfriend grew a mustache because, you know, No Shave November used to be Movember.
Movember, yeah.
Yeah, where it was mustaches.
Yep.
And he was growing what he called the substitute teacher, which comes in and then it curves around the edge of your mouth. And we had just started dating, and I was like, this is really interfering with the bonding phase of our relationship. And he's like, no, I gotta do it. But I also like the book Lolita, and so he was reading it, and he was reading it on the bus.
You like that book?
I do like that book. It's an incredible book. But
Okay,
so he was reading Lolita on the bus with his mustache, and he came in that day, and he's like, you hate this, right? Just tell me to shave it. Because he felt like a creep. All right, we're near the end of our show. I want to thank you all for being here. But we have one more song. Please give it up one more time for Johanna Kunin.
All right, I think we're ready to start this recording session when you are.
Okay, sure.
Too bright? Okay, yeah.
Interesting. Hey Adam.
Must have happened when we moved it, I apologize.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I should probably be using live setting all the time when I play.
You want to mute this channel real quick?
One sec. Go for it.
Thanks. Yeah, well, turn it to attach right here.
Does that change it?
There we go. Got it.
Great. I started my recording. We did have her just play a little bit so you can hear. You can play. We're just not quite ready to start recording. If that's all right. Okay.
Yep. I'm also just checking my. Is it helpful for me to play or not to play?
Yeah. Let's have you do just a little bit before we start recording.
Cool. I hear my vocals so much more clearly now than I did during the show.
Yeah, it's all the monitors in the front are all ganged together.
Nice. Cool. A little more, maybe a little more keys. Oh, Jesus.
good for levels up here. If you want to get this recording rolling, you feeling good? You can hear yourself well?
Yeah, I feel good.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
All right, Luke, I started my Okay, are you recording? Luke? Are you recording? Okay, we're rolling, so whenever you're ready.